Hey everybody, it's Adam Rawson here from the Rawson Law Firm, criminal and DUI defense lawyers. So I wanted to talk to you today about domestic violence cases, right, during the holiday season. It's 2020. Holidays are upon us. We've already had Thanksgiving. People are coming into town. We got coronavirus still. People are mass exiting from the north, the cold of being indoors in the north, and they're coming down to Florida. And what we've been seeing is a huge rise in domestic violence cases in December during the holidays. We see it every year, but I think especially now with what's going on, a lot of people have been locked up, and it's been a very stressful time for all of us, and we're seeing a huge rise in this. What I want to really impress upon everybody watching this video is, first of all, be safe. Try to de-escalate any argument, any situation, right? A lot of the cases that we see are not the most violent cases where somebody's really dangerous. It's just an argument or a little scuffle that gets out of hand and people are upset. There's high emotions and somebody wants to call the police to scare the other person. And we always tell people, don't do that. The advice that I give my clients is I say, only call the police if you are truly, honestly, genuinely in fear for your life or your safety. Other than that, don't call them. Because when you call them just to scare somebody, you're bringing in police officers who have certain protocols. And their protocols are, if it's a domestic call, somebody's going to jail. By law, they pretty much have to. They have guns, they have weapons, they have handcuffs, and most police training involves de-escalating situations by a show of authority or force. They're not going to sit the parties down and be your therapist. They're not going to hug it out with everybody. The police are trained to de-escalate situations by using force. And unfortunately, a lot of times that results in your brother, your cousin, your mother getting arrested for a life-altering crime such as domestic violence. Even if you're on scene and you're the victim and you're begging the police not to take your loved one to jail, they're going anyway because they have to. Those are the police protocols. So first and foremost, we want everybody to understand that. Really try to de-escalate any argument. We've all had those family get-togethers where, right, there's an argument or there's a disagreement or something. Of course, we never want it to turn physical. But sometimes, it may. I'll give you a few examples. So we just had a case where 2 weeks ago, brothers were wrestling and they got into it. And the wrestling match went from inside to outside, and somebody called police, and one of the brothers got hauled off to jail, and they were 23 and 25 years old. And if these were brothers that were 10 and 12, right, they probably wouldn't have been arrested. This probably would have been just boys scrapping, right, just a little wrestling match among boys, but they were adults. Somebody called police, and one brother got arrested on a domestic violence charge. So, we're in the process of getting it dismissed, but the damage is already done, right? You don't ever want that. We've had other cases where husband and wife are getting into an argument over finances at the dinner table, and the wife says, "I'm going to throw this fork at you," picks it up and looks at him, and the husband goes, do it. So what do you think she does? She does it. He calls the police out of anger to try to scare her. Guess what? She gets hauled off to jail for throwing a fork at her husband at the dinner table when he said, do it. And you know what? She's a professional. And this case could have had serious consequences for her professional license and her career, not to mention a mugshot and everything else bad that happened. So that's another example. And of course, we made that go away. We made the brother case go away. But I always tell people it's a lot better if we're never involved than if we do get involved. And yes, the cases we make go away are good, but it costs you money. You get arrested, you have to post bond. A night or two in jail is no fun. So you never really want this stuff. And the third case, college kid coming down on winter break. He's on his iPad. I think he talked back to his father. Father yelled at him. They get into an argument. Father takes away the 20-year-old, 22-year-old kid's iPad and gonna ground him. He didn't like that. They get into a screaming match. He tries to take it back. They're arguing and fighting over the iPad. The son runs out and calls the police to try to get his dad in trouble. Guess what? Police come, talk to everybody, found out that the son was using force and kind of scrapped with the dad and was pushing him to get that iPad back, that it was being taken away from him as he was being grounded. And the police said, all right, son, you're coming with us. You're getting arrested. You're going down to jail on misdemeanor domestic violence battery charges. Absolutely ridiculous stuff. But these things happen all the time. There's a huge increase during the holidays. So that's why we wanted to make this video, just to let everybody know. Please, please, please work it out. Hug one another. Love your family. Try to de-escalate any situations without getting the police involved. Of course, if there is a situation and you are truly in fear of your life, then yes, you call the police. But our recommendation is, other than that, don't do it, because the possible penalties and costs associated with a domestic violence arrest, are significant, and they could be life-altering and future ruining. And we don't want that to happen to any of us. So if you ever have any questions, issues, concerns, give us a call, 754-206-6200. We'd love to help you out and take great care of you.